Hi and welcome everyone. In today's lesson, I want to go over parts of speech in our English grammar. But before I do so, I want to wish you all a happy ending of semester, and I hope everyone is doing well. And I have a question for you before we start. How important is English grammar in our daily life? Why do we take English grammar, and is it important or not? Well, English grammar is your key to speaking English fluently and confidently. Knowing your grammar will help you avoid errors that make your English sound strange to native speakers. But there are certain situations in which English grammar is especially important. For example, if you're going for a job interview in an English-speaking country, the employer will be interested in the quality of your spoken and written English. In fact, 50% of the recruiters of the employers said that bad spelling and bad grammar was the biggest reason they would not apply people for a job. So correct grammar won't just demonstrate your English skills, it will also show that you are diligent and have an eye for detail, that you are interested in English, that you have studied it well. So this is equally important if you're aiming to study abroad. If you are thinking to study English, out of the country. And as we know, colleges and universities are likely to assess your academic English based largely on your knowledge of English grammar. So grammar is extremely important in our life now. So please take it seriously, pay attention, and know as much as you can. Take as much as you can from me as possible. So now let's begin, and let's talk about the parts of speech. We will begin with nouns. Now, I know you're all familiar with some of these, but these are parts of speech, and I want to go over them again because, as we know, our final is coming up. So let's just, refresh our memory, and if you are not familiar with some, then you will be in this lesson. As we know, nouns are, a noun is a part of speech that names a person, place, thing, idea, action, or quality. And all nouns can be classified into two groups, and we have common noun and we have the proper noun. Like I said, nouns name persons, places, things, or ideas. The proper nouns are usually capitalized, and they usually, a proper noun refers to an individual name of a person, place, or a thing, and that is why we need to capitalize it, because it is a name of a person or a thing. And as we know, a noun in Arabic, huwa al-ism. And like I said, we're going to talk about these proper, common, concrete, and abstract. Concrete and abstract, I won't go into that now, but for now, I want to talk about the proper and the common. As I said, proper, talk about, the individual name of a person, place, or a thing. For example, Barcelona, we have to capitalize that. Mercedes, we have to capitalize that because it's, it's individually named. And we have the common nouns are more generalized by comparison. And they can be further divided into abstract, and they can be divided into abstract, collective, and compound, which we have here, which you see in front of you. We can divide it into countable, concrete, uncountable, concrete, and verbal. and you will take countable and uncountable for the nouns. The other ones we will talk about later on. So, like I said, all we need to know about nouns are huwa ism, and we have two different kinds of nouns, proper and common. And we need to know that a proper noun refers to the individual name of a person, place, or thing. And these are usually capitalized. And common noun is more generalized by comparison, and they can be further divided into abstract, collective, compound, countable, uncountable. And we will take countable and uncountable later on. Okay, so that's that for nouns. It's pretty easy. Now let's move to pronouns. As we know, pronouns in Arabic, huwa al-damir. And a pronoun is a word that is used instead of a noun or noun phrase. Pronouns refer to either a noun that has already been mentioned or to a noun that does not need to be named specifically. Okay? Again, a pronoun is a word that is used instead of a noun or noun phrase. Pronouns refer to either a noun that has already been mentioned or a noun that does not need to be named specifically. For example, I, me. So instead of saying Nisreen, I can just say I. I do not want coffee now. Or me. Or you, he, him. Instead of saying Sarah, I can say, can you please come here? So this is a pronoun. We are, we're referring to a noun, but we are not naming that noun specifically. And the most common pronouns are the personal pronouns, which we have in front here. And these personal pronouns refer to the person or people speaking or writing. So this, we say this first person, or the person or people being spoken to, which would be the second person, or other people or things, which we will refer to third person, like nouns, personal pronouns. Personal pronouns can function as either the subject of a verb or the subject of a verb or preposition. For example, she likes him, but he loves her. So we are, we know, she knows that who we're talking about, but we're not giving names. We're not specifying it. So when we say first person, we are meaning singular, I. When we say second person, we are meaning as a subject, you. When we say third person, as a subject, I mean he, she, and it. Okay? And for plural, for first person, we say we. For second person plural, we say you. And for third person plural, we say they. And also we have an indefinite. Indefinite, here are some examples of indefinite. Anybody, anyone, each, either, none, someone, somebody, both, everyone, no one, neither, many, few, several, and one. And interrogative, who, whom, what, which, and whose. Demonstrative are this, that, these, and those. We know all of these words, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, the names are so hard and long. In English grammar, yes, everything is named, everything has a purpose, everything has a reason. So, that is why. And, like I said, there are a number of other types of pronouns, like, for instance, the interrogative. Interrogative pronouns, like I said, are what, which, who, whom, whose, and these introduce questions for which a noun is the answer. For example, which do you prefer? So this is a question. Which do you prefer? So let's remember the interrogative are who, whom, what, which, and whose, and they introduce a question. They introduce questions for which a noun is the answer. Okay, and the demonstrative, we talked about that. Let's move along to verb. No, here, let me go back to the possessive. Let me talk about the possessive. So the possessive pronouns refer to things or people that belong to someone. Again, possessive pronouns refer to things or people that belong to someone. The main possessive pronouns are mine, yours, his, hers, it, ours, and theirs. Okay? They are in front of you. Try to remember them. I talked about the interrogative, the indefinite. The indefinite pronouns such as everybody, either, none, something, these do not refer to a specific person or thing. Again, indefinite does not refer to a specific person or thing. And typically, it refers to an unidentified or unfamiliar person or thing. Okay? So, indefinite, let's remember indefinite means something that is unidentified. إشي مش معروف or مش متعودين عليه or unfamiliar person. So we can say, when we say anyone, we're not specifying. I'm not saying you, Sarah, come here. If I say, does anyone know the answer? Meaning, from a group, does anyone from this group know the answer? So this is what indefinite pronouns mean and do. We talked about the interrogative and the demonstrative. The demonstrative pronouns like this, that, these, and those, these distinguish the person or thing being referred to from other people or things. And they are identical to the demonstrative adjectives. So, again, demonstrative pronouns, they distinguish the person or thing referring to from other people. Here we have verb. What is a verb? And like I said, we said the pronoun is ضمير. Now we move along to verb. Verb اللي هو الفعل. What is a verb again? Verbs are the action words in a sentence that describe what the subject is doing. Again, verbs are the action words in a sentence that describe what the subject is doing. Along with nouns, verbs are the main part of a sentence or a phrase. They tell a story about what is taking place. And without a verb, our thoughts can't be properly conveyed. We cannot, if we don't have a verb in our sentence, we cannot, we cannot convey, or we cannot let the reader know what we actually mean, what we are trying to say. So, Even with the simplest sentence, such as, for example, Maria sings. Okay, so here, we have, sings, and, a verb can be a sentence by itself with a subject, and in most case, you implied, such as sing. So when we learn the rules of grammar, students, are often taught, that verbs are doing words, meaning they signify the part of a sentence which explains the action taking place. For example, مثلا, he ran away, or she eats chocolate cake on Sundays, or the horse galloped in the field. So these are all verbs that give us more meaning to our sentence. The reader, will have a better idea, will know what we are talking about, from the verbs. So verbs are completely important. Without a verb, we cannot have a sentence. And what else? How do we recognize a verb? كيف بنطلع الverb? For example, if one clue to help you recognize a verb is its location compared to the subject. So, most verbs almost always come after a noun. كيف نعرف إنه إذا في عنا verb بجملة? Why? Because verbs always come after a noun. الفعل دائما بيجي بعد الاسم. Okay? Like I said, verbs come after a noun or a pronoun, and these nouns and pronouns are referred to as a subject. So the verb, thought comes after, let's say, for example, let me give you an example sentence. Thought comes after the noun Jack. So the action Jack, which is a subject, was talking, was taken, was thinking. So that here is our verb. Thinking is our verb. Or we can say Zayn eats his dinner quickly. Or we can say we went to the market. Or I can say, for example, you write neatly in your notebook. So these are all verbs that usually, in most of the time, they come after a noun. And, the noun is the action or, the subject of, the verb. So, that's basically it for verb. I don't want to complicate it more, tell you more. So let's move along to adverb. What does adverb mean? Adverb in Arabic هو ظرف أو ظرف الحال or ظرف الحالة maybe. Adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective or another verb, and it expresses manner, expresses place, expresses time. Adverbs, is a word that can modify a phrase, a clause, or sentence. Also, an adverb is a word that tells us more about the verb. Again, an adverb is a word that tells us more about a verb. It qualifies or modifies a verb. For example, the man ran quickly. Quickly here is the adverb. So here, it's telling us more, quickly, the adverb quickly, it's telling us more about the verb, and it's giving us more information to our sentence. For example, Ali speaks loudly. How does Ali speak? He speaks loudly. So again, adverbs, commonly used adverbs we have here, there, away. And when we use here, there, away, up, we are talking where. We are talking about when we use where, the word where, WHERE, we are, expressing here, there, away. When we use the word when, we are expressing now, then, later, soon, yesterday. When we use how, we are expressing, is it quickly, is it slowly, is it quietly, is it easily. When we talk about how often, we can say never, always, often, seldom. And when we talk about to what extent, we can use very, almost, to, so, rarely. So these are all adverbs that give more to our sentences. Next we have adjective. Adjective in Arabic اللي هو الصفة. And adjective, what is an adjective? Adjectives are words that describe or modify other words. So adjectives make your writing and speaking more specific, and it makes it a whole lot more interesting. It makes your writing and speaking a lot interesting. And words like, for example, small, blue, sharp, these are all descriptive. What does descriptive means? These are describing. I can say the small cat, or I can say the blue fish, or this sharp knife. So I am expressing, I am describing, other words. I am making my writing and speaking more specific. I'm giving my speaking more detailed. So because adjectives are used to identify or quantify individual people and unique things, they are usually positioned, before the noun or pronoun that they modify. And we can use the articles the, a, and, an. And again, adjectives are words that describe or modify other verbs, and in Arabic, adjectives اللي هو الصفة. Okay, next we have prepositions. What are prepositions? Prepositions in Arabic are الحرف الجر, are حروف الجر. And a preposition is a word or group of words used before a noun, before a pronoun or a noun phrase to show direction. We use prepositions to show time. We use prepositions to show place. We use prepositions to show location, to show relationships, or to even introduce an object. Again, what do we use prepositions for? Prepositions اللي هم حروف الجر. And a preposition is a word or group of words used before a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase to show direction, time, place, location, relationship, or it even introduces an object. So, some prepositions in English are, they're highly used. Although there are some rules for usage, but much preposition usage is dictated by fixed expressions. And, in this case, it's best to memorize the phrase instead of each individual preposition. So when we talk about prepositions of directions, we can use to, into, onto. If we want to use preposition of time, we can use in, we can use at, we can use on. For example, preposition of time. I can say she was born in 1996. Or I can say I go to work at 8 a.m. Or I can say she often goes for a walk at night. Or I can say I work on Saturdays. Or I can say he does his laundry on Wednesdays. So these are all prepositions of time. And we have prepositions of place, which we can use in, at, on, inside, over, above, below, beneath. Now these are all here written in front of you. Underneath, by, near. So these are all prepositions of place. Prepositions of place refer to a place. And we use prepositions in in the point itself. At, the general, on, the surface, and inside, something contained. So, for example, she was waiting at the corner, or he left his phone on the bed. Or another example, place the pen inside the drawer. So these are all prepositions of place. I am, giving you, where the place is. When I say she was waiting at the corner, I'm talking about, a specific at the corner. When I say he left his phone on the bed, this is preposition of place. So when I say I left my phone on the bed, you know that my phone is on top of the bed, not underneath, not on the floor, it's on the bed. Or when I say place the pen inside the drawer, you know to put القلم جوا الجرار. So this is what preposition of place means. Beneath means يعني تحت الطاولة. If I say go beneath the table, أنا بحكي إنه روحي تحت الطاولة. Or if I say basement, or no, let me give you an example. The bird flew over the house. The bird flew over the house. يعني العصفور طار فوق البيت. Here I'm also giving preposition of place. when طار العصفور فوق البيت. Or I can say the cat is hiding underneath the box. إيش يعني the cat is hiding underneath the box? البسة متخبية تحت البقصة, تحت البوx. So if I say go get the cat, she's hiding underneath the box. أنا عم بعرفك وين البسة متخبية. where متخبية تحت البوx. Or if I say البيسمنت, أو اللي هو basement يعني maybe an Arabic تسوية, I believe. Basements are dug below the ground. التسوية هي تحت الأرض. Okay, below means تحت. So these are all prepositions of time. And we have also preposition of location, which we can use across, along, behind, off, or toward, within. Here we have toward, we have within, we have off. So these are all prepositions of relationship and location. When I say place, a check mark within the box. Place a check mark within the box. I am meaning حطي صح جوا البوx. جوا الأجوبة الصح. So this is what prepositions mean. Again, prepositions هم الحروف الجر. They give us more information about, we are specifying more information about our talking, our writing, our speaking, and we move along to conjunction. إيش يعني conjunction? Conjunction in Arabic هو أدوات الربط, and a conjunction is, let's say conjunction is the glue that holds words, phrases, and clauses together, both dependent and independent. Now, there are, three different kinds of conjunctions. We have coordinating, we have subordinating, and we have correlative. But, now I just want to talk about coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. Like I said, coordinating, subordinating, and correlative, each one of these, serves its own purpose, but they all work together to bring words together. It's almost like linking, like like a puzzle. When you hear the word conjunction, remember a puzzle, and remember that we have to have the correct puzzle piece to the other piece for it to connect together, or else it doesn't fit. It's not going to work. We're not going to have a complete puzzle. So, coordinating conjunctions are what come to most people's mind when they hear the word conjunction. So, again, coordinating, they join words together, and with them, our short and choppy sentences can be joined into fuller sentences. And, there are 7 of them, and they're easy to remember if you can just think of the word fanboys. Fanboys is, abbreviation for, which means explains reason or purpose. A adds one thing to another. Nor, means used to present an alternative negative idea to an already stated negative idea. And we use but to show contrast. We use or to present an alternative or a choice. We use yet to introduce a contrasting idea that follows the preceding idea logically. And we use so, my favorite word, which indicates effect, result, and consequence. Again, for explains reason or purpose, and adds one thing to another. We use nor to present an alternative negative idea to an already stated negative idea. We use but to show contrast. We use or to present an alternative or a choice. We use yet to introduce contrasting ideas that follow the preceding idea logically, and so indicates effect, result, and consequence. Okay, next here we have interjections. Interjections. Now we said conjunctions هم أدوات الربط. Now we have interjections, which mean in Arabic الصيغة or صيغ, and interjections are words used to express strong feeling or sudden emotion. They are included in a sentence, usually at the beginning, and they express a they express surprise, they express maybe disgust, they express joy, they express excitement, they express enthusiasm. So, an interjection is not grammatically related to any part of a sentence. Interjections are by themselves. Like, for instance, ouch. Ouch here is an interjection. It doesn't need any word after it, and this ouch is it's an expression, or it's a sudden expression. For example, you cut your finger and you say ouch, so this is a sudden expression. Or a surprise, or like for the example that I have given you, great, what a terrific idea. This is also an interjection. Again, interjection are words used to express strong feeling or sudden emotion. Or you can say interjection can be oh my god, or it could be wow, or it can be or it can be indeed, or it can be yes. So these are all interjections. Or it can be oh. So, like I said, interjections are used to express strong feeling or sudden emotion. They are included in the beginning of a sentence again, and they express again surprise, disgust, joy, excitement, enthusiasm. And one thing to remember, an interjection is not grammatically related to any part of the sentence. It's by itself, and you have to put an exclamation mark after it. Like if you write ouch, you have to put that exclamation mark. If you write great, you have to put that after it. If you write oh my god, you have to put exclamation mark. So it's by itself. It has nothing to do with the rest of the sentence. Like I said, an interjection is it's not grammatically related to any part of the sentence. And again, an interjection is sira or sir. Can't really pronounce it good, but I think you know what I mean. And that concludes our lesson for today. I hope you got a better understanding of parts of speech. And I know you know most of them, but I just wanted to refresh our knowledge and go through it one more time. Have a great day, and until our next lesson, ciao.